Good morning, everyone. It is February the 10th, 2026. The next video I'm going to put up is probably a bit controversial in some ways because people have their own opinions of what's happening to our society. It's going to be on domestic abuse. This I can speak of as well because I've gone through 40 years of domestic abuse myself with two husbands, and it's coming down to the point I think we really need to take a look at ourselves, all of ourselves in the mirror as a society. I think it's great right now that what is happening in the States right now, it's forcing us to look at ourselves. That is for certain. Um, it's very, very difficult to talk about domestic abuse. I mean, even it triggers things with me with my PTSD and the domestic abuse that I've suffered as well. So I'm only human. Trying to talk about this is very difficult. But I think it's a video that I think I like people to see, talk about, think about, and start realizing that we have to start talking about difficult things. And I think what's happening in our society and the world today is things are coming out of the closet today, and we really need to sit down and have a conversation with each other. A nice, polite, courtesy conversation where we're not yelling at each other, but we're trying to solve problems in a very, how do you put that? In a very good way, to the point where, we're not shouting, we're not yelling, we're going to be doing it in a very civilized way of trying to deal with the situations. And I'm seeing more people. I'm seeing with the homeless, people are getting together. We're doing it in a civilized way. We're trying different experiments or pilot projects. The cities are doing different things. People are getting together. I think it's excellent what we're doing. We're finally opening up and talking about it. But I think everything that's brought forward and put on tape, actually, and from the news, this came again from the newscast, and I think we need to really look at what we're doing to each other and what we've done in the past, what hasn't worked, and look forward to finding new and better ways of doing things. And this is a lot on men right now, this video, and why the domestic abuse happens. I can understand what's going on in the video. I've seen this where my husband's the big he-man, the provider, the home provider. It's not like it used to be where the wife would stay home and the husband would go out and hunt and the wife would do everything else at home and things like that. Men today seem to want to revert back to that, where today women and men are looking at a way of equality with one another. And it's very difficult. We're in a turning point here, and we're kind of in a butter churn, let's put it that way. And we're just churning it away, and the butter's there, and we're trying to get the butter and get it smooth and coming out correctly. So it's going to take a while to get to where we need to be. And we're still in the baby steps of doing it, but we're also taking some very large steps backwards in our society today to doing things. But I think it's a very interesting video, in the fact I really think it needs to make people need to think about what we're doing today, how we can look at ourselves differently, how we can realize that today it's got to be teamwork. We've all got to work together to make our society much better, to go forward in the future. We won't have a future if we don't start dealing with the things that we're having to deal with today. And it's a lot on our plate. It's a lot on our shoulders. Everyone's angry. Everyone's frustrated. This is causing the mental health as well. And I think everyone's mental health, of course, is important. And getting help. How do we get help? Well, you've got a couple of experts talking about it here in the video. And I think it's very interesting. But I think in the end, if we can all come together and work together in a shared leadership way, and this is what I'm seeing coming slowly, but it's not going to happen overnight. But I think having seen my husbands feel that they're the dominant ones, and I'm seeing this where the abuse is even in the homeless, where the men in particular want to dominate the women who are homeless and helpless. And that's where, when you look at what they're talking about, that men who are abusive in that way, they feel very weak. And this is one way they feel like if they dominate women and go back to the old ways, then they're the big he-men. Well, he-men are not what they used to be. Our lives have changed. The centuries have changed. It's about cooperation, because we're going, where are we going? We want to go into space. There's a good example. How are we going to get together and live together in spaceships, let's put it that way, and we go, and now of course we're talking about going to Mars and the moon and that, if we can't even solve our problems down here? What's going to happen if something goes wrong up there on the moon or on Mars? Are we going to be able to cooperate together? Are we going to be fighting together? Like, there's so many things that we need to do right now to fix problems, so that we can actually go ahead and look towards the future in a really, really good way. So I think it's just worth everyone looking at this right now and talking about it, being very objective about what they're talking about, because there's pros and cons on both sides of what these experts are saying. So I just want everyone to enjoy this, sit back, and really think about what's being said in the video, not being judgmental. That's not what I'm being, is judgmental at all, but I know I've been put in a position where I understand where women are coming from. A lot more women are getting killed by their partners and everything. So it's something that we've got to look at ourselves. So everyone, please be safe, watch your surroundings, and we'll talk again soon, and enjoy the video I'm putting up. And take care. Bye-bye.